Hi everyone, welcome back. And today I have a very special guest who is going to share her journey with us. Angela finished my 6 months program, and she had incredible journey and incredible wins. And I'm really excited to have her here. Hi, Angela.
Good morning, Gabriella. How are you?
I'm very good and super excited about talking to you. So tell us a bit about who you are, what you do, and how you found me.
Okay. My career, as you know, was in the healthcare industry, and professionally, I'm a nurse. And I come through the nursing management route up to exec level. And then I wasn't happy with that. I always like to face challenges, and I went down the operational route. So
Mm.
from a very narrow funnel, it spread out into operations. And then I wasn't satisfied with that. And I had an inkling that I'd like to do some coaching because I had a vast array of experience, and I knew the pitfalls, especially from a management perspective.
Mm.
And I said, I can give something back.
Yeah.
So I went and did a coaching professional diploma with Kingstown College. And it was through Kingstown College then that I hit on you, because I've always been an employee, never an employer, or somebody starting
Or
up
entrepreneur.
their own
Yeah,
business.
totally.
So yeah, you were actually on the app, the Kingstown app, and you just spoke to me, and sure I contacted you straight away. I think we had one discussion, bam,
Yeah.
bam, said I was in,
Yeah.
and because you just had what I needed at that
Yeah.
particular time of my career.
Totally. We just clicked on so many levels
Yeah.
because of my medical background as well. And I remember I talked about sales on that post, and that happens very often that people who do coaching qualifications have no idea how to sell, how to market themselves, and that's the biggest struggle, right?
Yeah, not a
And
clue.
yeah, and of and you are learning. So tell us, so now you are leadership coach and a mentor
100%.
for nurse managers. Am I correct?
That's correct. So again, part of the learning was that you kind of need to get into a niche and identify that niche, and concentrate on that, to 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 help people. I always wanted, because nurse management is particular to me. I'd seen all the pitfalls, that I'd experienced all the pitfalls, and it can absolutely knock people off their career routes for no other reason than
Yeah.
burnout or lack of well-being. So I wanted to reinforce and help them, not the exec level, but more the middle managers,
Yeah.
the nurses on at that middle management. They're on the front line, and it's a tough role, and
Oh
I
yeah.
wanted to bring that knowledge, expertise that I have into their lives to help them in managing the environment that they're working in now. So that was my fundamental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many years have you been working in medical industry?
Oh, I'm 40 years plus,
And
Gabrielle.
then you made the decision to transition into coaching. That's very brave,
Exactly.
Angela.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
brave. So tell us, where were you when you started to work with me?
So I was at that point that I had made the decision that I wanted to become, for my first time in my life, self-employed. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be able to be accountable to myself, my time management, and my family. It was important also to make time that I could adjust my time, because the family was important to me.
Totally.
So when I came to you, I had already made that decision, but then I was kind of stuck because I didn't know how then to go the next step and to market myself and
Yeah.
to advertise myself in what I was offering. And the other piece was I was absolutely a novice. No, I wasn't. I can't even say I was a novice. I was a non-starter in relation to the technical aspects of social media. I did not engage in social media, full stop. Doesn't matter what the platform was. So I had an additional learning to do in relation to the technical side of how to use technically social media. So between the expertise required to sell, but also the technical side of actually use the equipment and the technology available to me to sell. And when I say sell, yeah, it is sell. It's actually to sell to people of that niche that I wanted to.
Yeah, but in order to have them, not sell for the sake of
Yeah,
selling
yeah,
and
no,
making
no,
money,
no,
it's
no.
more
I'm
for the
no.
sake of helping
I
others.
yeah. I'm not in. I'll be honest. I'm not into this thing about six figures
Yeah,
or yeah. I want to go in. I want to, but I'd like to have an income. Um, to help me then just to live my life the way I'm living my life. I'm very comfortable. I have my family around me. It's really important to me. And as I said earlier in the interview there, I always need to be challenged. And I want to keep the brain active. And this is the way I'm going to do it.
amazing.
Yeah.
So share with us some of the wins that you've had over the past 6 months. 6 months plus, because you've had many, and especially on social media side. So share with us.
Yeah, I suppose on the social media side, I had been when LinkedIn was the way forward. I joined it back in 20, whenever it was, 50, but I never used it.
Yeah,
Absolutely had no history with it whatsoever. So it was only until I came into this decision making that so my first learning was even how to fill it up. I mean, how to fill in the boxes, how
yeah,
to put in what was it, and the importance of words, the importance of how people grasp things, the analysis, all that piece that I hadn't, I didn't know any of that. And it was really challenging, but I really enjoyed it
mm,
because I was learning a new skill set as well.
mm,
And then I never forget the thing that you have to post. And I said, "What do you mean post?" I couldn't string two words together, let alone post in relation to what you needed on LinkedIn. But now I've got to the stage I can flick out a post because I have
totally. Yeah.
a process now behind it that I structure a month in advance content and then
Mhm.
put that content out periodically either. Well, I'm actually doing it daily now. I'm up to the point that I can do it daily. And the content is focused on leadership and especially leadership in nursing. It's got, that's the other thing over the 6 months is from a very broad focus. I've really narrowed down the niche to the personnel now. So it's nurse managers.
Mhm.
So whether they're exec level or middle level or junior level, it's nurse managers. That's the wording I've been using now to do that.
Brilliant.
Um,
And
and
and yeah,
sorry.
and what I see happening, one of the big mistakes is that people go too broad with their marketing and they
Yeah,
don't choose the niche, and then they are talking about everything and nothing really, and it doesn't land with people and doesn't connect on emotional level. So
yeah.
what you've done is really, in my opinion, extraordinary, because from knowing nothing about social media and not knowing how to post, you're posting consistently, you are scheduling posts, and your posts are, it's not only about posting a text, you are making carousels, you are having fun
Oh
with
yeah. I've learned
with your
yeah, I've learned yeah, that's another thing besides LinkedIn. This Canva was another tool that I've discovered.
and
And again
AI.
I learned about the branding
Yeah,
and AI. You know, and it's actually very the argument on LinkedIn about the use of AI and how you shouldn't use AI and how you know that it's it's not, but the people have to recognize the fact that AI is here and it's here to stay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and it's going to
Okay.
progress and it's going to go forward. So you
Yeah.
might as well join it, use it,
Yeah.
manage it, and accept it. And I think the first is to accept it because more and more people are doing it. It's becoming more evolved. And if you're not there, yeah, so you don't. How can you
You will
how can
disappear or
you
stay
evolve?
behind.
How can your
Yeah.
own business evolve? Because with the involvement of technology, the
Totally.
two are hand in glove now. So yes, I do use it. You always have and the beauty of it is I work on my own, so I don't have an admin assistant to help me. So this is the way I look at AI, is that it's that administrative support that you need to allow you the time to do what you want to do, which in this case is to coach.
Totally.
You use less time administratively and more time doing. So this positive, that's my positive that I take out of it. Yeah.
Totally perfect. And because we as coaches should focus on coaching and mentoring, not
Yeah.
on admin tasks, and AI can be really helpful if you
Yeah.
train it well and if it's aligned with your values and truly
Yeah.
represents what you're up
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And in the past 6+ months, you also took some physical challenges. You've been running. Yes, you
Oh, that,
part of
yeah.
competitions
I
on
do
top of
adventure.
everything else.
I do adventure racing in Ireland. And what that entails is running, cycling, and kayaking. I've been doing it. I did it. I still before COVID, and then when the COVID thing broke, there was no race in that stage. So I started back in it again. Again, it's a challenge. Why do I do it? Because as I said, my personality is I
Mm,
need to have challenges to work towards. So for me, the adventure racing keeps me active, mobile, and fit and
totally.
functioning. And keeps me going from a physical perspective, but also helps me with the psychological piece as well. Because when you're out running or when you're cycling, and I do some of it on my own, I do some of it with others, but it just gives you that time out and to clear your mind and whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
and
you
running your own business, coaching
yeah, you need
business is
that.
challenging.
Yeah.
It really drains you energy.
But
Sometimes you start to question whether you're doing something right. It's a roller coaster, right?
it's definitely a roller coaster, and there've been times through this 6 months I said, "What the hell am I doing?"
Yeah,
This am I, am I am I entrepreneurial enough to go this road? Yes, I am. But if
you
you say,
are.
yeah,
Yeah,
and this thing is it's like anything in life. You need to put the work in to get the results out, and sometimes that takes time.
yeah,
And if you can, you just got to give yourself the time, be patient, which goes against everything that I ever do because I usually charge in like a locomotion,
yeah,
locomotive train, and I plow through things and create collateral damage each side of me. But usually somebody comes and picks that up for me. But in this case, because I'm on my own and it's my business, I can't afford to be that locomotive and create the collateral damage because there's
yeah,
nobody else alongside me. So you have to
exactly.
learn to be patient
Yeah.
and work at a different pace. But it's been very enjoyable, very frustrating. And am I going to continue? Yes, I am.
And there is one thing I want to mention because we discussed it on our last call. I remember we were talking about the identity shift that must have happened for you
Yeah.
because when you were starting, you really didn't see yourself as that entrepreneur who is having successful business. You couldn't see yourself as that version of you, but now you have no doubt, do you?
No, that's exactly it. So it goes back to who am I? What was my identity? My identity was a nurse.
Yeah,
Okay. The nurse is the most unentrepreneurial person that I think that you can find. And it's making that shift to that entrepreneurial set and looking at life in a completely different way. and
Totally.
coming out of your box,
Yeah. And seeing yourself as authority,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Coming from that place.
yeah.
So
I,
and
I, I I was always somebody that would always be second in command, or I'm never one that, hence my evasion of social media or anything like that. I would always work behind the scenes. I'm quite
Mhm.
happy there. So and work and allow the other people the plaudits, or if that's what they want, the social recognition, that type of thing. That was never a driver for me. But now, in the fact that in you self-employed entrepreneur, you actually are selling yourself. Now, that was
Yeah,
a big mindset shift for me. I
totally.
wouldn't even have photographs of myself on social media. That I just didn't. So, the photograph that's actually up on my on my LinkedIn profile is actually a photograph that my granddaughter took from me. She's 8. And but I promise that at Thursday I will go and get a professional one done. But that's where I am at the moment. It's my true self on screen, out there in the
Yeah,
public eye, and I have to be accepting of that, and accepting of who I am.
exactly. And this is one of the challenges many coaches go through, including myself, is that if you've been working behind the scenes for somebody else and they were shining, it's really difficult for you to go forefront and to show yourself as you and really and charge for it, for your services.
Yeah.
It really takes a lot of shifting within you.
Mm.
And you did it beautifully, and I've always seen you as entrepreneur, even though you weren't one when we met, but now you are like speaking from an authority point of view on social media. You like your posts are are coming across as somebody who really knows your industry. You know your field, you know your niche, and you're coming from that place of identity as an authority, right? As a leader. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so tell me, did you have any concerns before joining the program? Or
No, but again, Gabrielle, it was goes back to you seem to. I'm a great believer in
synchronicity?
destiny or synchronicity or whatever.
Like,
I was looking, I was finishing the course. I knew where I was. I know what's the next step. I went onto the app. Here you were. This lady I need to go and talk to. Hit it off straight away. Why would I go anywhere else? I'm not that's the way I work. Um,
and
and
that's why you are successful, Angela, because you're a quick decision maker. You
yeah,
don't that you
and that
see
was
the
it.
gap, you make a decision
Yeah,
because
yeah.
like you know that without support you wouldn't go any further.
Oh, I
And
wouldn't. No, there's
yeah,
no, and nobody can do it on their own. You don't
exactly,
have
totally.
that for you need to it, and when that expertise comes to your door, you take it.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
learning.
yeah, exactly. So if somebody was on a fence and thinking of making decision to join the program but still being hesitant, what would you tell them?
Jump off the fence and get on with it. Join the program. It works. It works when you fully commit to it. But it's like anything in life. You direct and you advise and you gather us, along the road. But in the end, it's the person
Totally.
it's the coachee that has to make that commitment.
Yeah,
Has to. You're sitting on a fence. You'll be sitting on a fence all your life.
yeah,
Get off the fence, make the decision, go through it, the process. You'll see at the end of it, but then at the end of that process, you'll see the difference it makes. But like any process, any decision you make following that will be an informed decision because you've gone
totally,
through the process. It
totally.
won't be an empty decision or no, just that's that I get frustrated with that when people don't make decisions. There's never a bad decision, okay? There's just decisions done at every time because you learn from every decision and it brings
Totally.
you
Yeah.
on the path. So I would tell people that are engaging with you to it's no use doing it that superficial. Commit. When you
Mhm.
commit, that's when the real learning begins. but it's up
Yeah.
to you then, because of that commitment, to engage fully and to take
And do
on
the
what's
work.
actually being said to you and to listen
Mhm.
and to do the work, you know.
Exactly. And you were the one doing the work. It was, I must say, you were a pleasure to work with because you were always trying to integrate what I've been teaching you,
Hmm.
right? You were
But if you're,
always
if
taking
you,
action. You
well, you
didn't
have
need
to,
babysitting. Yeah. And so it's Angela's ideal client. No babysitting, just clear directions, coaching. When you needed coaching, you asked for it, right? And we were moving forward
yeah,
quickly.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and with this mindset, with this attitude, I have no doubt you are going to have loads of coaching clients.
Yeah, and
Um,
that's what I'd love to love to do, because it's fundamental to me. All through my career, the biggest joy I used to get from people was see nurses come through the ranks
mm,
under my, shall we say, guidance, um, or coaching, but not with the formal heading of coaching. It's what I would do. Um, um, just within me. I love to see people succeed. I love to see people go into roles when they show that potential, they go through their interview, they're given that potential of going into this new promotional role and then to succeed at it. And but too often what we see, especially in healthcare, is that can be a very traumatic period of time for
yeah,
people because they don't get the support, they don't get the coaching, they don't get the
totally.
mentorship. Not because people want to see them fail, it's because the environment of healthcare is so
Yeah,
chaotic,
totally.
that people get
Very,
lost.
and often toxic. And because I've also, as I said, worked, used to work in medical sector. It's like so many people go through burnout, and it's like such a difficult environment to work in, so challenging, so stressful, and really, I think you are really needed in that industry to
Mm.
help others to succeed and not to burn out in the process
Mm.
as well. So the last thing I want to mention also, you've noticed that obviously your posts are working, and what you are doing is working because you have people approaching you, sending you emails, asking for consultations. You have discovery calls with people, right? So
Yes, yeah,
there are
and
people
that's that.
coming to you.
But I'll be honest, Gabby, that's starting now, and that is taken time. But I think it it's because of my naivety and lack of technical ability at the beginning of the road. I've
Oh,
come an
totally.
extra from learning the technology. If
Yeah,
I came to you with a technical background in using social media, I imagine I would be much more advanced
totally. So
in
knowing where,
my
yeah,
journey. But where I am in my journey now is exactly where I'm meant to be. And you can see that stone beginning to roll forward and slowly and get there. But then that's
yeah,
genuine. Is I'm
yeah,
not a flash in the pan.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
genuine.
And one more thing came to me as well. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to mention that organization, but you also are in communication with an organization that you are creating programs for nurse managers that
Oh
will be
God, yes,
led by
yeah,
that
yeah,
organization.
yeah. Because coaching as a tool is not widely used in healthcare at middle management level, I said, how am I going to introduce coaching to that middle management so that with nursing in particular, that they're well used to going for education and training and workshops and this type of thing. So what I've done is partnered with an organisation that know this industry inside out, back to front, and know what's needed. And I put together a retraining, about a 4-hour training program, but just on leadership. From a practicality point of view, not the theoretical,
Yeah,
academic point of view, and then to follow through with this workshop. So the workshop would be 4 to 6 clients together. And I would like to do that face to face. And then to progress that, then the 6 clients, I would do 3 coaching sessions each individually through Zoom or whatever
brilliant. And in the
to follow
future,
through.
to
Yeah,
follow through. And in the
yeah.
future, they are going to be CPD accredited training. So
That's correct. Yeah,
uh,
yeah. That's
yeah.
that's the plan. That's the plan. We're going
And
through
it
that process. Yeah.
Yeah, so I see it as an amazing win because you really don't have to even source clients yourself. It's that organization that is going to do it for
Yeah,
you.
so I had
All
to
you
go
need,
through a process of approval. I had to be
yeah,
approved as a trainer or whatever, an educator, by their board, and they accepted me as that. I gave them the content and the program, so they advertise it and do all that other piece for it because they have a suite of clients that comes to them regularly for different types of training and that. So they're a facilitator. They
yeah.
facilitate, so we'll see. Please God, do.
Such an amazing win and a way to expand your business, yeah,
Mm,
and build it on two legs so you
yeah.
could be representing them in a way,
Mm,
preparing group programs for people, and you can
mhm.
work individually with clients yourself and source different
Yeah.
clients through your social media.
Yeah.
And one more thing that came to my mind also was that interview that you've had, that you were invited to the podcast to talk about leadership.
Oh yeah.
Um,
She
because
was.
I'm just remembering the wins that you were showing me along the way.
Yeah, that was it. There's a lovely little girl, Claire. I can't pronounce her surname, but she came to me. And it's the way she works, social media because she's done it with other people. She recognised that teach leadership or different things, and she does actually an article on you or whatever. So she interviews you. And basically then transcribe it was a recorded interview and then she transcribes that and she publishes it as an article.
Brilliant.
So
Look
yeah,
how many
it was it.
opportunities showed up just because you made the decision to commit to your
Yeah.
journey and to jump into the program and create something new. And
Mm,
I really, Angela, I really in an admiration to you because you've been in your employment for so many years,
mm.
and most people just finish working and that's it for them. But
Oh
you
God, no.
created a new challenge. You wanted
Mm,
to learn more, uh, and looking at your social media, you've done an incredible work, and you're
mm.
still doing lots of work, and you're still growing and learning. And I'm really like I really admire you, and I love you for what you've done. And
Mm.
we need more people your age
Yeah.
who make a decision and takes on new challenges, and because it's so much needed. Yeah,
Oh God, yeah. Because there's an awful lot of experience out there, and it's true. It's the knowledge drain, especially in healthcare. I mean, and I was actually just reading an article that this morning that's come in because it's International Nurses Day. Was it yesterday? And from a global point of view, that the nurses retiring, and is a greater number in the next number of years than the nurses coming into the profession. But it's not just the persons of retirement, it's the knowledge and experience that goes
totally.
with them.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you were going to
totally.
lose all that, you know.
Yeah,
And it's sad in one way. But
and you so have so
it is
much
what it is.
expertise that
Yeah,
is that you can really contribute to the medical industry from a completely different perspective of
that's it.
somebody
Yeah,
who has
yeah.
been through that journey and also who have coaching qualifications and knows how to lead people
Mm.
more from
Yeah.
a mindset
The,
point of view.
the
Yeah,
technology has probably changed the way we act or the way we work, and and that progression is all good. But what we've really got to do to remember is behind all that technology is people, and it's the
exactly. Yeah,
communication people, and um, uh, people are the same, have the same basics needs now than they had
yeah,
100 years ago, and you can take that whichever way you want it. Okay, we respond differently now because of technology now progression and the
yeah,
way we
totally.
evolve, but our
Yeah,
basic needs are the same,
yeah.
and
At the
we've got
core, we are
to
all the
not
same.
lose of that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much, Angela. Tell us where people can find you if they want to follow you and if they want to learn more about you and how you can
Okay, where
support
am
them.
I? Well, I'm on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
and I have set up a page on Facebook, but I'm not active as much there. But there is a
And
page there,
and you have your own
and
website as
and
well.
then
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
my own website.
Brilliant.
And
So I added to the video description. And once again, thank you so much, Angela, for your time and for being such an
oh,
amazing
thank you,
client of
Gabrielle.
mine.
I've had a very pleasant journey, ups and downs, but that's life. Challenging, laughter, fun, but learning, and
Yeah,
yeah, and under your tuition. And I'd like to thank you very, very much.
you're very welcome. It was my pleasure. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, bye bye. Bye.